Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a book review on When the Moon is Low by Nadia Hashimi. This is the second book that I've ever read of this author, and so far I'm absolutely loving it. I've read The Pearl Who Broke Its Shell. I read that last week, and then this week I've read this book. I just wanted to do a really quick book review because I feel like I don't need to make it long. I wanted to start off with saying that it is a great book. I really enjoyed it, and I think that's why I finished it so quickly. I found it really beautiful, but also super confronting because you're following a woman called Fariba and her son Salim. You're following this family, but they're the two main characters, so you're going to be reading from their perspective and following their personal journeys. So Fariba and Salim, as well as Samira, the baby Aziz, they go on a really long journey. It goes for months from Kabul to London, and you're going through their hardships as they try to get from border to border, basically in search for a safe place to live, because in this time it was when the Taliban was taking over Afghanistan. To get a better picture of the person that Fariba is, you do go and read through her childhood, what her upbringing was like, and how she became the person she was today. I found that Nadia did a really good job on painting the picture of the story, and the way she did the characters I thought was absolutely amazing. As I said before, it is really confronting, and I think because as you're reading it, you know that this actually happened, and it still is happening, especially when you're reading into detail of, you know, what Salim, the son, had gone through. So I won't really spoil it. This is in the blurb. Actually, I might just read out the blurb for you so you get a better understanding. Mahmoud's passion for his wife Fariba, a schoolteacher, is greater than any love she's ever known, but their happy middle-class world implodes when their country is engulfed in war and the Taliban rises to power. When Mahmoud becomes a target of the new fundamentalist regime and is murdered, Fariba is forced to flee Kabul with their 3 children. Finding a way to reach her sister's family in England is her one hope to survive. With forged papers and help from kind strangers they meet along the way, Fariba manages to smuggle the children as far as Greece. But in a busy market square, their fate takes a frightening turn when her teenage son Salim becomes separated from the rest of her family. So that's really when you then step into Salim's perspective. So you're following Salim's personal journey from Greece and what happens and how he gets to London, and then every few chapters you're bouncing back to Fariba and how she's going and what she's up to. So it's 2 now separate journeys, obviously because things happened when they were in Greece. Faced with an impossible choice, Fariba pushes on with her daughter and baby, while Salim falls into the shadowy underground network of undocumented Afghans who haunt the streets of Europe's capitals. Across the continent, Fariba and Salim struggle to reunite, exhausted but undefeated, and ultimately find a place where they can be a family again. I really like books like these. I think reading about, I know these characters are fictional, but reading about the hardships that people have gone through, I suppose, although this is fictional, it happens, you know, it has happened, it is happening. And reading about those hardships makes you stop and just think about how privileged you are and how lucky you are. At least for me, like how lucky I am for the life that I've lived, and I never even have to think about going through this kind of hardship. But yeah, that's all I want to say on the book. I do honestly rate this book probably an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. I did like the last book that I read from her, I think a little bit more, The Pearl Who Broke Its Shell. I'm actually about to start reading another one, so I feel like I'm going to go through most of Nadia's books and just read and review them. I think it's easier for me as a reader to go through authors, just kind of like I did with Ken Follett. I mean, I did just really skim his books because I read, I think, about 5 of his books, and I don't think I reviewed all of them. But I kind of skimmed past, and then as soon as I heard about this author, I think I just saw her in the saw the books in the library, and I read the blurb, and then I was like, oh, actually, I'm gonna hop onto this one. So I have a tendency to hop from author to author, so I might be doing just reviews on Nadia for the next little bit. But yeah, that was my review. I do definitely recommend it. Yeah, I hope you like this review, and have a beautiful night.